Hi, this is Patrick, CEO and co-founder of InnoSearch.ai,
And this is Bryan, CTO and co-founder of InnoSearch AI.
and you're listening to
White Gains Connect.
Hey there, PA Federationists. Welcome to another episode of White Canes Connect, presented by the National Federation of the Blind of Pennsylvania. My name is David Goldstein. I am your first vice president. Joining me today is co-host and White Canes Connect creator, Lisa Bryant. Lisa, how are you today?
I am very well, David, and it was nice to have Patrick and Bryan, the co-founders of InnoSearch AI, on the podcast today. They've actually been doing quite a lot of conventions and podcasts, but it still was nice to have them talk about this really great alternative to the daily battle of fighting with inaccessible retail websites.
Yeah, it sure is something that is so needed. I know that I can't tell you how many times I almost ordered the wrong item on Amazon trying to use my phone to do it. And it is just so nice that you can use InnoSearch to get there. And again, it's InnoSearch, not InnoSark, as VoiceOver may say. And I know they are working on that. Patrick and I spoke at the convention, and he said they're trying to work on that, so it at least pronounces it properly.
So let's listen to our conversation with Patrick and Bryan, co-founders of InnoSearch AI.
Patrick and Bryan, thank you so much for being with us today.
Yeah, we're happy to be here. Thank you so much for the opportunity to be on White Canes Connect.
Well, guys, I know you have been doing kind of a media blitz on InnoSearch, and I know this is not your first rodeo talking about it, but there's still some folks who don't quite understand the whole concept, what the various features are, because I know you've been adding on even since the initial launch of, and there's some new partnerships that we'll give you a chance to talk about. But we'd love to learn about both you, Patrick, and Bryan. So, Patrick, maybe you can start. Just give a little brief bio of yourself, please, and then Bryan.
Yeah, my name is Patrick. I'm one of the co-founders of InnoSearch AI. I've been into social entrepreneurship for over a decade now. I've been building companies at the intersection of both high impact and also technology. My previous company, I was building in decentralized finance, helping those who are underbanked and unbanked get basic financial services. So I'm just generally very passionate about using new technology, new tools to empower others and make their lives better.
Awesome. Bryan?
Yeah, hi, my name is Bryan Vuong, and I am the CTO and the other co-founder of InnoSearch AI. So I have been working in the tech industry for many, many years, and I have a strong passion in AI and machine learning. I have led engineering and product teams at Walmart, Meta, and Google. And recently, then I met Patrick, and we found the same passion in AI, machine learning, and helping people. So we founded InnoSearch AI.
And that's what I was curious about too, how you guys met and how the partnership began. Um, Tell us, because if you don't mind my assuming here, so you both are sighted.
That's correct.
So how did you put your heads together and decide this was needed? Just talk about how I guess the backstory or the impetus to even create InnoSearch AI.
Basically, at first we set off to build a shopping application for the general public, actually.
Okay.
And, eventually when we launched it, we realized regular people actually, a lot of them really enjoy just how shopping is already, right? They enjoy the videos. They actually really enjoy browsing through a lot of products, right? Looking at beautiful pictures. But there is a segment of people, especially blind and low vision. And when we did more and more research, and we realized how big of a community it actually is,
Mhm.
right? And just even people with disabilities, I think 1 in 8 people worldwide today have some sort of disability. And, I'm always a very curious and observant person. So started digging more and more into it. And I realized the web today is just not built for people with a disability. And there's just so many things lacking in web accessibility. AI is almost a perfect tool to address that, right? Since it can take the context from so many different websites and sort of redisplay it in a new format, right? That is screen reader friendly and easy for blind and low vision people to access. So it was very much an iterative process, right? We started off with something a little bit different, but as we talked with more and more users, released different iterations to different community members and got their positive feedback, the product sort of took form and is what it is today. But we're always improving and always trying to make it better as well.
I do want to hear you share more about the different versions or iterations that you made along the way. But Bryan, I just wanted to give you a chance to add on to anything if you had something.
So shopping, especially online shopping, is actually optimized for sighted people.
Yeah.
So companies like Amazon, Google, Target, Home Depot, you name it, they do a pretty good job in optimizing their site, but for sighted people so that they can get like a lot of sales. And when we build InnoSearch and we talk to our community, to blind low vision users, we realize that is not the experience for them. When people have to use screen readers to navigate the web, to go to different websites and to browse and to figure out different components, that is a pain. When there's a lot of like videos, a lot of buttons are not labeled, a lot of clutters, a lot of ads, a lot of upsells here and there. And that is where we started out with InnoSearch.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right. It's a frustration daily that, I just want to share just briefly an experience. So I had to get I had to upgrade my home security system. And essentially the panel, without me having my device like a Ruby or some sort of magnifier or something, I can't see the panel at all. And even though it's a bigger panel than what I had previously, it's not as if the text on the panel scaled up. Like the text is still actually even smaller than what I previously had. So the technician, he says, well, I said, oh, it's really a shame this isn't a talking device. And he kind of like pushed back a little bit, say, oh, people don't realize all the technology that goes into building these devices. And, it's just a lot in here already. And I said, yeah, but manufacturers also don't take into account accessibility. So, just to the point, like, it's just not top of mind for a lot of website builders, home security system builders. Like, it's accessibility is not top of mind. And that's what I wanted to really kind of dig into with you guys. Like, who did you first talk to that made you realize that this shopping platform needed to reach a certain community? I know you know the statistics, but what was the personal sort of drive or connection to create this?
Yeah, so for me, after talking to Dr. Kirk Adams, who was the former CEO of the American Foundation of the Blind,
Okay.
he had mentioned to me he spoke to these group of developers about creating an app specifically for blind and low vision to shop. How there's just a really big opportunity there because there's just no company really thinking about it top of mind and addressing it. I think he shared the idea with them. I mean, at that time we contacted him, it was over a year ago now, actually. But at that time, he said he told them about the idea 6 months ago, and still they didn't do anything. And it was like he said, "What a coincidence that I bumped into you, and you guys were asking me some more questions."
Yeah.
And he said, "Yeah, you definitely should do it because there's a lot of blind and low vision that definitely would appreciate." So we just decided to go for it. I mean, that's the sort of entrepreneurial mindset, right? If you can't be 100% certain, right? But if there are enough clues, then you just got to go for it and see what happens. And so far, reception has been good. So we're very encouraged by that.
What is InnoSearch?
Yeah, so InnoSearch, in a nutshell, it is a digital platform designed specifically for the blind and low vision users. So we have abstracted like all the key services like shopping, flight booking, and soon food and grocery delivery on InnoSearch. And we will continue adding more services. So the idea here is basically to create a very accessible interface of the key services for the blind low vision users.
When someone comes to your site, app, wherever it may be, and they type in they want a t-shirt for the Philadelphia Eagles, you don't search one website, you are searching multiple websites. Is that right?
That's correct.
And when someone places an order, are you taking the order, or is that order going to, let's say it's Amazon or Walmart? Where does that transaction take place?
You can think of InnoSearch as an accessible layer, right? So we collect your information and then we pass it on to those retailers that have the items, and they fulfill it and ship them to you. So we're the accessibility layer that sits between you as a customer and then the business, so that the business can then send the items to you. And we keep the process very simple and accessible for the blind and low vision customer.
And when they receive that order, does it look like it's come from, let's say, Walmart, or does it come from InnoSearch?
It comes from Walmart. That's right.
Is your model, is it like an affiliate model, whereas you're getting a commission for that sale?
That's right as well.
So that's interesting too. So let's say someone does have their own affiliate link with Amazon, but orders going through InnoSearch, and well, I guess I should say initiating through InnoSearch, but InnoSearch is using Amazon to fulfill it. Does that person who has that Amazon affiliate link still get the little fee, or not the fee, but the commission?
No, not that person. So the transaction is happening on InnoSearch, meaning the
so
user
they get the
pays InnoSearch. Right? So on the credit card statement, it will show as InnoSearch AI, not Amazon. But in the background, then we work with Amazon to fulfill the order, and the package could be shipped under Amazon brand.
I'm just curious, from start to finish, how long was the process of actually building this?
Well, so we started InnoSearch in February last year, and we launched the shopping vertical in June last year. So it took us 4 months to build the first vertical of InnoSearch. And since then, we have added flight booking vertical towards the end of 2024. And very soon, in the next week or so, then we are launching the food and grocery delivery vertical. So we are still building a lot of new features and new services on InnoSearch.
I was playing around with it before this episode, and I have to say I did immediately breathe a sigh of relief, because it's like it's so stripped of all of the other distractions, and just, whatever I search for, just the results of that, not all of the, oh, you might also like, or whatever other ads are coming up. And that is incredibly helpful. And I hear now that there's another way of ordering if you are, for whatever reason, not able to do it online. There's a phone feature. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so if you don't have internet connection, or you just prefer a much more simplified and streamlined experience just by talking on the phone, you can dial 1-855-SHOP-GPT, and that corresponds to the numbers 1-855-746-7478. And that's our shop by phone experience. So you can just talk to our AI agent, and that AI agent will understand the preferences you want for your item. They'll ask you clarifying questions. And once you're comfortable with what you want, you can add to cart, and you can do the whole checkout process all through the phone. So there's no need to have an internet connection. There's no need to, even use your internet browser. Just through dialing your phone number, dialing this phone number, right, using a landline, you can order items, right? Anything from, toilet paper to, headphones to a new laptop. You can access the entire InnoSearch catalog just by dialing, these digits. So It's been very well received.
Yeah.
Actually, about a fourth or so of the volume on InnoSearch goes through this phone line service on certain days. So, significant numbers of people do enjoy it and use it for its simplicity because some people just don't like, having to go
Mm-hmm.
to their web browser or computer, right? They just want to pick up a phone and chat with somebody and tell that person what they want.
And it's AI, but you can speak as if you're speaking to a regular human being. You don't have to sort of code your words any certain way. You can just have a conversation.
That's right. So it will understand you as if you're, talking, to somebody at Home Depot or Best Buy, Walmart. Just tell them what you want, and they'll start presenting options to you.
Yeah, and I would say that is the beauty of AI nowadays. It can make a very natural conversations with the users and to understand what the user is looking for and to find the right information and to even manage the shopping cart for the user.
What are you doing with Be My Eyes? Is that a relatively new partnership as well?
Yeah, so we partnered with Be My Eyes back in May 15th, 2025. That was when the announcement went out.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, I'm sure you guys have the Be My Eyes app,
Mm-hmm.
but Be My Eyes does the visual interpretation, right? But we now add a new feature. So through Be My Eyes, you can also access InnoSearch's accessible shopping, right? So you get access to the entire InnoSearch catalog and also travel booking. Soon, when we add food delivery, you can also get access to that. So now there's no need to go direct to the InnoSearch site. Just through the Be My Eyes app, you can get access to all of InnoSearch AI's accessible services, right? And so we think this could be a big game changer since Be My Eyes obviously is a global presence, right? I think they're around in 150 countries. There's just such a big global footprint. And we're excited by this because now we can bring InnoSearch and this accessible way of accessing these digital services to all Be My Eyes users. And for Be My Eyes customers only, through that link, you'll get 2%, an enhanced 2% cash back on all your purchases. So I think typically on the InnoSearch site, we do 1%, but through this special partnership with Be My Eyes, we're offering 2% for Be My Eyes users.
I think Be My Eyes really took off when they added the AI component because to me, there's nothing better in describing a photo than Be My Eyes. And that just makes things so much easier. Talking about the groceries and food, is that a partnership with DoorDash and Uber Eats and those kinds of places?
So food and grocery is a new vertical that we are doing internal testing right now on InnoSearch. And in the background, it will be fulfilled by Grubhub.
So what else is sort of making this stand out? Is this a never done before? Do you have competition at the moment?
So I would say there's nobody really focused so much on the blind and low vision and disability community like we are.
Yeah.
I think there are people building other accessibility solutions, right? I think, but everybody goes about it in a slightly different way, right? There are companies like Accessibility that build widgets, right? That sort of alter the page so that it's more usable for people with assistive technology. But we sort of take a different approach, right? We're now building from the ground up and actually even changing the way the site looks by making it more simple. So I would say our approach is a little bit novel, different than others. Now, recently, actually, we're adding voice to the site. So through a tool we call Co-Browse AI, you'll be able to use your voice and just chat with any website that you'll be able to add a new medium of communicating, right? Not just through keyboard or screen reader, but now also your voice. And we think with more surfaces interacting with the website, right, just having more options will improve accessibility long term.
I know you guys were at our national convention. Are there any other on-site demonstrations or conventions? We have our convention in November. I don't know if that's on your radar, but are there other places where people can kind of go and just talk to you face to face or maybe even on spot test out the site?
Yeah, we have been doing like a lot of demo and meetings in different summits and conventions. So we were at CSUN, we were at NFP convention, and a few other conferences as well. So yeah, the major conferences for the blind low vision community, we are always there. So feel free to stop by our booth if you see us at a convention. Otherwise, you can always send an email to support@InnoSearch.ai.
In any areas, do you have, I know some manufacturers and distributors have maybe ambassadors or whatever you want to call them out in the field. Do you have or planning to add anybody to go and, let's say, maybe because you guys are busy doing certain things, do you have plans for adding people like that to go and do a demo at different places?
So currently we don't have an ambassador program, but that's definitely something we're open to. We actually want to grow in that direction. I think there's been just so many conferences. All the NFB chapters obviously have one in every state, and that's something we definitely would love to attend. Obviously, bandwidth is small. I mean, we're a startup, but absolutely, I think an ambassador program, getting community members involved, that's something that we've always taken a lot of pride in. And just, yeah, I think it's really important to just get out there and share more, answer questions, build a better product.
Maybe somebody that's trained and has used it for quite a while and that knows basically enough to demo the product, whether it's ordering airline tickets or whatnot. Although it seems, using your voice, I don't know how much how much you need to know if you pick up the phone and call and just say, "Hey, I want 2 tickets from Philadelphia to St. Louis." I'm sure you'll just get, that's an easy enough task for you to do if you can't do it either on your phone or on your computer.
Yeah, I mean, the beauty of InnoSearch is it's just a lot very simple, right? It's very easy to use for the end user. So, but of course, I think it'd still be great to have people on the ground to answer questions and just, give some more credibility to it. I think having somebody in person that you can see that talks about it would definitely be helpful. So yeah, if there's anyone listening that is interested in something like this, sort of like a ambassador type relationship where you just can attend events on our behalf and share InnoSearch, you believe in the mission, believe in what we're doing, we'd love to hear from you. So feel free to drop us a line at support@InnoSearch.ai and would love to chat.
I saw briefly that there has been a bit of a community built around this. So you're getting a lot of feedback. Tell us what people are saying so far. I'm sure the accolades are coming in, but are you noticing some recommendations for tweaks? Just what is the feedback overall that you're getting from the community?
I would say our community is very active, and we receive like email and messages almost every day about our product. A lot of people love our product, and they just wanted to thank us for building a great product and how excited and how happy they are. A lot of users are also very enthusiastic in suggesting new features. And in fact, a lot of features that we have built on InnoSearch are based from the user feedback. Things like flight booking, food and grocery delivery. And another thing is to build a native app for InnoSearch on iPhone and Android. Okay. A lot of people also figure out like certain improvements that could make our website better. So for example, how to enter the coupon code, how to support different payment method, and like how to edit and manage the credit cards and addresses on file. So those are great suggestions, and we are a very community-driven company in the sense that we listen and we take the feedback and we build our product based on the feedback of the community.
We definitely are very community-driven, feedback-driven, right? And we move quickly, we iterate based on how the community receives the product. So everything actually thus far has been based off of feedback and what people have shared with us they think would really improve their day-to-day lives and give them more independence. So yeah, that's pretty much the belief. And I think it's very important, right, to have that. In fact, actually, 3 of our team members are blind and low vision. So they're very much looped into the development process.
That is good to hear. I was wondering how different it looks now from when you first launched, like what this latest version or iteration looks like, versus the original. Is it vastly different, or did having those, and I don't know if those blind staff people have been in the development from stage 1, but did you have to do a whole lot of revamping, or does it look pretty much like it did when you initially launched?
We did the revamping, I would say, several times. So the first version of InnoSearch, it was just a chatbot. Basically, the users just ask questions and it replies with the product information. Right? There's no cart management, there's no checkout, and it was only shopping. And then we evolved into a full shopping site where people can search, can add to cart, and to finalize the purchases all on InnoSearch. Right? And after that, we also did a few big revamps in terms of payment. Originally, we redirected the users to Stripe website for payment, and it turned out a few months to build the totally in-house payment flow, still based on Stripe for security and privacy, but the whole UI is built by InnoSearch. And then, like we said, we have the flight booking, we have food and grocery delivery, we have the phone line, and most recently, then we revamped our AI chat agent. In the past, it was only able to answer the questions. Now, the chat agent has evolved into a product called Co-Browse AI that it can take the actions of the users on their behalf. Things like click on the button, like summarizing the page, like filling out a form, go to check out, right? And even better, Co-Browse AI can work on any website. It's just a very simple integration. So if any website would like to have the voice capability for the users just to speak to the computer, then they can integrate our Co-Browse AI, and that will work out of it.
I know that the flights are a huge thing. I have 4 friends that I'm sure you've heard them. They've all used it, and that is one issue, I think, because of the way the airlines do the drop downs and certain things, that it's just a lot easier. They've told me about ordering plane tickets and whatnot through InnoSearch.
Yeah, that's great. And thanks so much to you and your friends for supporting us. It means a lot to us to interact and hear the stories that, how much, we've changed and helped people's lives. So that's really exciting. So thanks so much for sharing.
Do you guys know how many users you have? Like, are you tracking those numbers?
Yeah, so we have a total of more than 5,000 users on InnoSearch, and every day there are more than 1,000 users who are active on InnoSearch.
Where did those numbers fare in terms of a new site? And I guess this is even more niche than that because it's a site for a particular group. Are you pleased with those numbers, I guess is the question.
Well, I would say no. I think we've only began and scratched the surface, right? There are 1 million blind and low vision people in the US. And actually, we're in 4 countries. We're in Canada, UK, and also Australia, right? So those are just, in my opinion, just really rookie numbers, right? Just 1,000 blind and low vision every day is nothing, right? I think we really do make the shopping experience easier, and there's just so many testimonials of people that have really enjoyed the product. So we're still working hard on trying to get the word out more, coming more on podcasts like this and just, sharing, right? And working with the community to educate and just be there. So I think we're just beginning. This is just early chapters.
A few months ago, you had made an announcement with the NFB. Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah. So we've partnered with the NFB on a national level, basically to co-develop test and scale different AI accessibility solutions. We've also done a donation roundup campaign to support the NFB's mission. So every time you do a checkout on InnoSearch, there'll be an option to round up your purchase to the nearest dollar. And then that money will go direct to the NFB on the national level to support, this great mission to help, blind and low vision people live more independent lives. So I think it's great. And we're very excited by this because we can work so closely with Mark Riccobono, with Jonathan Mosen, on a weekly basis to continually make our product better and to see how AI can help improve the lives of people who are blind and low vision.
And how would someone use that to sign up for that or make that work on their end?
But when you go through the checkout process, there'll be a tab you can click on, you can navigate to, and you can decide if you want to round up your purchase to the nearest dollar to support the NFB. And also, I believe if you're an NFB member through your portal, your member portal, there will be a unique link where you can get $10 off your first purchase. And if you complete your first purchase, we'll also donate $10 to the NFB as well. So there'll be an option for that in your member portal.
I can hear everybody at home. How do I get to that NFB portal again?
I think it's great that you're doing so many different podcasts and conventions. Do you think there's still a misunderstanding that there's somehow another layer, either cost-wise or time-wise? Do you think people still don't get just how much more, like the site itself is accessible, but just the whole experience is very accessible and there's no extra fee, service charge or anything like that? Do you find that you're still having to break down that misconception?
I think that's a great question, right? So when we launch, then to be honest, some people are also skeptical about InnoSearch because one thing is, if InnoSearch is so accessible and everyone is using InnoSearch, then what is the motivation for the retailers to improve the site, to make the site accessible, right? The way that we see the problem is we are actually more like a catalyst to help the bigger retailers like Amazon, Walmart, Target to understand that their sites are not there yet, even though they can be very compliant. But in order to be accessible and usable by the blind users, they still have the work to do. So we believe that with InnoSearch, we are able to deliver the message to the big players in the field, right? And also, there's also a lot of questions about like, how can our business model sustain, right? Because we sell the items exactly at the same price, and we offer free delivery, free return for all the users. So, and that is also a great question, right, from the community, because to be honest, we don't make a lot by the affiliate fees. Only a few percentages every purchase, depending on the retailer, and that is quite small, right?
Yeah.
And we need to operate at a scale in order to be break even or even to make a profit so that we can sustain our business.
Patrick, did you want to add to that?
No, I think that's a great point about scale, right? I think that's why just to reiterate the previous point, right? I think that's why we're still in the early chapters, right? And there's 1 million blind and low vision people in the US, right? And we're just at a very, very, very small sliver of that. So we're looking to continually spread the word. And so if you've enjoyed your experience on InnoSearch, do us a favor and just share share it to a friend. And we're offering $10 free credits for anybody that signs up through your link. So that's a free $10 to try and buy anything on InnoSearch. And once they complete their first purchase, you too will get $10 credit automatically into your site. And those credits never expire and they work for anything on InnoSearch. So this could be a good incentive for you to share your link, spread the word if you enjoyed the InnoSearch experience.
And all of that is easy to see on the website when you're just searching and ready to check out all of those
That's
that
right.
options. Okay.
So yeah, if you go to InnoSearch.ai and down on the tabs, there's rewards.
Okay.
If you navigate to rewards, there will be a unique link that you could share to your friends. And after they made their first purchase, then you would get $10 in credits to your account.
So the next time I go on there, I'll see some sort of notification saying, you've got money, something like that.
That's right.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's true.
That sounds great. That
In the
sounds
rewards tab, that's the whole transactions history. Like every time a successful referral will show that in the history of the rewards. So you will see everything.
When is the app coming out?
So the app is under development right now. So we also have an internal version that we are testing internally, and we will move to public testing in about a month or so. So I would say around in the fall, late in the fall, then the app will be out.
And you mentioned your team, and I know that it's a smaller team, but how many people do you have on the team?
Currently, we have the two founders, myself and Bryan, and we have about 6 engineers, back end, front end, full stack. 1 product designer who specializes in inclusive UX and WCAG compliant design, and 6 customer service and AT specialists. So they're the ones that will answer your customer service requests, even if you have various screen reader issues or looking for a shortcut, they're able to help you with that as well. So total, that is about 13 people. So yeah, we're here to help you out. We're a small but mighty team.
So we would like you to just once again let people know how to reach the site, reach you. What is your sort of charge to folks to share the word, spread the word rather, and just share feedback, whatever information you'd like to, whatever shout outs I guess you'd like to give. This is the time.
Yeah, so you can visit us at InnoSearch, INNO search, SEARCH.ai. You can access our phone line service from 1-855-SHOP-GPT. That's 1-855-746-7478. InnoSearch works 24/7. There's absolutely no charge to use InnoSearch, so 100% free for the user. You can sign up for an account though, and if you do that, then you can take advantage of our rewards program. So that's the referral reward, $10 per person you bring in, and also $10 for them. In addition, 1% cash back on all purchases. So that's sort of our loyalty program. If you create an account, you can take advantage of that referral and also cash back. If you have any questions, concerns, comments, or just want to say hi, you can email us at support, SUPPORT, at InnoSearch, INNOSEARCH.ai. And we have a team that's 24/7, 365. They're willing and able to answer your questions.
And then you said earlier that if folks are using the Be My Eyes, that's a 2% cashback, correct?
That's right. So that's a special thing we have with Be My Eyes. If you are an existing Be My Eyes user and you navigate direct through the app and do your shopping there from Be My Eyes, then it will be an enhanced 2%.
Well, if you guys find yourselves wandering around Harrisburg on November 13th through 16th, come and see us. That's our state convention. David, I just blanked on the name of the hotel.
Best Western Premier.
Best Western Premier. Yeah. So we'll be there. And folks should know too that you're also looking for an ambassador. That's the other thing we should sort of throw out there. Yeah. And if they have questions about that, that's the support at InnoSearch, that same email.
Yes. And our team will direct the information to us accordingly. So yeah, we will get it to the right person to address whatever you need.
Well, Brian and Patrick, it was a pleasure meeting both of you. Thanks so much for taking the time to come on White Canes Connect. Congratulations on quite an accomplishment. And it sounds like this is only the beginning. You're perfecting it along the way. And great job so far. And I'm sure even much better things to come. So thank you both for what you've done.
Yes, thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah, thank you so much. It is our pleasure to join the podcast, and thank you so much.
Thanks again to Patrick and Bryan for coming on and talking about InnoSearch AI and all the stuff that it gives the blind community and kind of levels the field as far as shopping goes. And Lisa, it's something that we sorely needed.
Absolutely. I thought Brian raised a very interesting point about does this indeed challenge the Amazons, Walmarts of the world to make their sites more accessible? And I guess that just remains to be seen. In the meantime, we need to place our orders, do our shopping, do whatever we would like to do online. And since there are so many other battles to fight, like if this is an easy way to do that, then we'll take it.
100% there. And I know a few folks, as I mentioned in the interview, have used their flight booking. That has always been a difficult thing for me to do. So I'm interested in trying that the next time I'm flying somewhere. It'll also be interesting to see how it works out once they get online with their food delivery. And I know that there's a lot of folks out there probably hungry. Can't wait for that either.
Yeah. And there are just a lot of opportunities. If you have used it, you're curious about it, I think the ambassador opportunity sounds great.
Yeah, it really is something that, especially if you are a heavy user and you really know the way that the site works and can really talk people through it and show them and demo how everything goes, it really is a great opportunity for you to get out there and support them to help their business grow and keep it around for us to use for the future.
So if you have tried it, you're curious about it, let us know. We'd love to hear from you. You can email us. The email address is whitecanesconnect@gmail.com.
You can give us a call, 267-338-4495. You've got up to 3 minutes. Leave your name and town. If you do leave a voicemail, we will use it in an upcoming episode. We'd love to hear your thoughts about InnoSearch.ai. And Lisa, before we go, I just wanted to mention that state convention registration is open. You can go to nfbofpa.org/2025 to learn all about everything that's coming up in Harrisburg from November 13th to the 16th. You can register now. You can go right to register, nfbofpa.org/register. And hoping that, Lisa, you'll be in Harrisburg when we are out there in November.
No pressure there. Sure. Yeah, what you said. So another good episode, David. Thank you. And thank you, Patrick and Bryan.
And thanks for listening.
Take care, everybody.